Hey guys, just want to talk to you about the last 10 days before CAT 2024. What should you be doing? What should your focus be? Maybe 4-5 of the most important points. No preparation from my side. Just going through my mind and trying to work out from my experience and my logic of how to prepare for this exam. What you should be doing in the last 10 days. So this video is about that. So the first thing, I guess, the last 10 days have to be spent very clearly on a lot of PYQs and actually not just solving the PYQs, kind of ingesting the PYQs into your system, into your digestion system, so that what happens is the CAT has a very specific kind of nature of the question they ask you, and many times a lot of the mocks do not replicate that. I often see questions in mocks which does not really replicate the essence of what a CAT question does. Although in the CAT experience, I've tried to make sure that every question in DI and LR and every question in quants, and also Meenakshi ma'am has tried to ensure that every question in verbal recreates the essence. And I'm sure most of you have experienced that essence recreation in our CAT experience test series. But so one of the things that I'm telling people, and one of the things that I would like all of you to remember, is that the last 10 days you have to actually ingest. Whether it's verbal, it's quants, it's data interpretation, logical reasoning, just spend time, just keep resolving those questions, almost as if you have to get into the second level of memory, second depth of memory in your head with those questions. So if you want to solve them thrice, do it, because it's there will be repetitive triggers. There are going to be triggers that are going to be from past papers. There are going to be triggers in the quants, DILR, etc., from which are going to be directly mappable to the questions. Will not be the same, of course. There might be a couple of questions here or there which are same, but you can't bargain on that. But the triggers in the questions will be very similar. So I would, if I was in a place, or if you were to ask me, I would think that the last 7 years of CAT papers and the 10 CAT experience tests, I think if you can just spend the last 10 days just going over those questions and again and take that approach कि अगर इस तरह का कुछ आएगा तो मैं कर लूँगा, just that approach, I think it will make a huge difference to your quants and DILR scores. And for verbal, of course, I think the last 7, 8, 10 days has to be spent on fine-tuning. Of course, you have a little bit more than 10 days, but it has to be spent on fine-tuning your selection of the correct option. So go ahead and solve the same RC passage. Solve an RC passage today, solve it again after 4 days, solve it the third time after 4 more days, and focus on the CAT 17 to 23 papers. You guys are lucky enough now. Unfortunately, बीच में CAT 2009 to 16 के बीच में CAT was not releasing its papers. So 17, 18, 19, we were completely blank about what they were asking, except people like me who had gone and seen the paper and it could give you a second-hand experience of it. But right now you are lucky enough to have the first-hand experience of exactly what CAT is required in the verbal section. And verbal is the most consistent section of CAT. You see the verbal section across the last 7, 8, 10, 15, 20 years, you will see that the consistency, maybe the number of words has in a passage has gone up, come down, a couple of question types here and there have changed. But if you look at the consistency of the solutions, the non-ambiguity of the questions, what the question tests, your ability to understand the language, that's been more or less constant. So if I was in your place in verbal last 10 days, 15 days, what I would be doing is I would be solving and resolving the same questions again and again, and getting it into my psyche, or trying to build that instinct. Why B is the answer, why C is not the answer, why B is the answer from CAT's perspective, from the IIM's perspective, why are they telling me B is the answer? What am I seeing wrong when I think that C is the answer? Well, fine-tuning is what the focus should be. That's the second point that I would like to talk about. The third issue that comes to mind is a mock test. Yeah, you should be taking mock tests. There are 2-3 approaches you can take with mock tests. If you have taken enough number of mock tests till now, that means 30, 40, 50. If you have taken those many mock tests till now, then the last 10 days I would suggest maybe 5-6 mock tests, right? Unless you are trying to experiment something, or experimentation को close करो. मतलब people try to experiment कि पहले मैं verbal 4 क्वेश्चन करूँगा, फिर आरसी करूँगा, फिर वर्बल करूँगा 3 क्वेश्चन, फिर आरसी पे आऊँगा. वो जो एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन करना है वो खत्म करो, लास्ट 10 days में स्टेबलाइज कर जाओ उसको कि ओके दिस इज व्हाट वर्क्स फॉर मी बेस्ट, द आरसी इज फर्स्ट एंड द वर्बल नेक्स्ट, or 2 questions verbal, 4 questions, one set of RC, and whatever has worked for you best, you finalize your experimentations and you say okay this is my game plan, this is my game plan, this is how I'm going to solve this section, right? So वो structure finalize करो. Quant section में 10 का 4 कर रहे हो कि 20 का दो सब slots कर रहे हो, and what works for you best, you just find that sweet spot and go that way, right? And so mock tests, when I talk about mock tests, it could be 4-5 mock tests, 5-6 mock tests in this timeline. If your number of mocks is less, you've not taken so many mocks, then maybe you can even do 12 to 14 mocks in the next 10 days. 2 mocks per day भी कर सकते हो एक हफ्ते के लिए, and then you taper it down to 1 mock per day. तो 15 से 20 mock भी कर सकते हो. लेकिन एक फैक्टर और है, I mean if you have completed your PYQ revision, you have completed the CAT experience revision, और CAT experience के वीडियोस में मैंने बार बोला है वीडियो सॉल्यूशंस में, I mentioned this again and again that your approach in your testing is not just to take the test, but also to make sure that any logic that you see once in a test, and let's say a logic beats you, there was a question in quants which you could not solve, and that logic was beating you in the test, has beaten you in the test. I'm a sportsman, at least last 2-3 years I've become a sportsman. The logic you have to have is, I'm not going to lose to the same guy twice. Let him beat me once. Let that logic beat me once. Okay. Second time I'm going to be ready for it because I know what the logic does. So that's the third plan that you will have, to revise every question that has beaten you. Till now, of course, revise questions that you've done also. When I say revise, does not mean you solve the whole question. Just read the question, flowchart in your mind, go on. Just keep going on. So जितने questions तुम देख सकते हो, 2000 questions maybe you can see in quants if you see 200 questions a day, just by looking at reading the question and telling yourself the triggers. So that will also fine tune your ability to react to triggers faster, and it might help you the speed, improve your speeds, etc. So these are three, four strategies that I would tell you to adopt. Other questions that are coming to me are, and please put in questions on the video. I'll love to read some of those questions and take my next video idea from them. And lots more coming on the channel. Thank you so much. Bye bye.